Welcome to Earl Stewart on Cars.
Discussing the dilemma that all car owners have when they bring their car in, men and women. It all boils down to trust, and you need to find a mechanic, a technician, service department that you have confidence in. I would start with some of the basic elements of checking out any business. I'd go to the Better Business Bureau. A little tip on the Better Business Bureau: when you're checking a service department out or a car dealer or anybody out, look at the number of complaints they have. The Better Business Bureau system is that you can have one complaint or 10,000 complaints. As long as you respond to the complaint, then you're good to go and they give you a high rating. But you and I both know that if you have two identical service departments, two auto repair shops, one of them has one complaint in the last 6 months and the other one has 100 complaints in the last 6 months, you go with the one that had the one complaint. I mean, they might both have A ratings, but that's the way the BBB does it. There's fortunately today on the internet that you have a lot of great consumer rating services. The two best, in my mind, are Google Business Rating, and Yelp, Y-E-L-P, Yelp.com. I say those are the two best because they do a better job of policing the ratings of businesses, including car dealerships. Meaning if a car dealer hires an outside company to raise their score and their recommendations, they drop the surveys. They take them off. They try to keep the businesses honest. They're not 100%, but they're better than most of the other services that I'm aware of. Another thing is an internal rating service that most car dealers, I would say all car dealers have, and it's actually initiated by the manufacturer. So if you're buying a Chevrolet, you're buying a Chrysler product, you're buying a Toyota, Honda, Nissan, whatever you're buying, that manufacturer, Nissan, has surveys and questionnaires and methods of measuring the service satisfaction of that particular dealership. You should ask that dealer to see what is his score. They get a ranking that shows them how do they rank in their market. There might be 5 Nissan dealers in the market or 3 or whatever. See what their customer satisfaction score is in their service department. And they also have a separate score for the sales department. Ask to see that. If they don't show it to you or say they don't know how to find it, turn around and go somewhere else, because that is mandatory of all manufacturers with their dealers. And someone's on the bottom of the list and someone's on the top of the list. Find out who's on top of the list. Word of mouth, that is probably the most reliable method you can find. If you have friends that own a car of your make, ask them where they take their car. Is it to an independent? Is it to the dealer? What's their experience like? I didn't mention the County Office of Consumer Affairs. Every community virtually I know of has one of those. They're pretty active, and they'll have a file, and they will give you information when you call them, just as will the Better Business Bureau. There's something else you can do, too. Anytime there's anything replaced in your car, tell them you want to see it. It puts them on notice. Now, that's not to say they can't swap it out and give you one that really wasn't yours, but when you put them on notice, that you want to see any parts that are taken and you want to have possession of those parts, usually that will be a way for them to realize that you're an educated consumer, and they're going to be a little bit more careful before they try to take advantage of you. But there are a lot of good, honest service departments out there in dealerships and independents, and you just need to be careful. Any expensive repair, if it's not what was advertised or if not what was in their published menu of repairs, which you've already had a chance to shop and compare, then you just say, I'm sorry, that's too much. You don't have to have an argument with the service advisor. You just say, listen, $397 for that 30,000-mile service, it sounds a little high to me. I'm going to take it to another dealer and see if they can do it for less. You'll find probably 50% or better of the time they'll say, well, let me check with my manager. Maybe we can do it for more competitively, because they know what their competitors are charging, and if they're higher, they will at least meet that price. But you should never take a expensive repair at face value and let them do it. Also, one other thing to protect you from unexpected work, Florida has a great law. They require all service departments, independent and dealership service departments, to offer a written estimate of the amount of work that will be done. And that they have to sign off on that. You sign off on that. They cannot exceed that by more than 10%. And be sure you insist on that. And if there's additional work to do, they need to call you. They need to give you another estimate, and you need to sign off on that too. So that's a very good protection under Florida law.